Welcome to The Lift with Sheila Robinson-Kiss. Come on in. There's always a special place set aside for you here where you can relax, kick up your heels, pour yourself a nice, refreshing drink, and prepare to be lifted and soar. Thanks so much, everyone, and welcome back. How to be powerful. How to be powerful and use it wisely. Let's start with a lovely quote by Abraham Lincoln. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's true character, give him power or give her power. That one is worth repeating. Again, by Abraham Lincoln. Nearly all men can stand adversity. But if you want to test a man's true character, give him power or give her power. Power, in a nutshell, is very, very powerful. And understanding what power is and how to use it wisely is what the video is about today. There are stories that are dominating the news cycle these days about power and how people use it or how people don't use it. And I'm here to tell you, there's all different kinds. There's all different kinds of power. So there's the kind of power that comes from money and status. There's the kind of power that comes from being dominant. You can be powerful because you're in a dominant position. So when we think about a parent and a child is powerful because the child is so vulnerable. And number 3, there's the acquisition of power in some relationships, meaning you took it, it's acquired. Power that is taken or gained from someone else. And then number 4, there is the all-powerful kind of power, which is acquired power. Quite frankly, in my opinion, this is the real power and the true power. It is the acquired power from the hand of God, infused into your life and on your life, potent and real, and allows you to share it and infuse it into other people's lives. So make no mistake, they are all different kinds of power, and I'm not going to tell you that the other forms are not relevant, because in some form or fashion, we've all been touched by these various forms of power, and not necessarily in positive ways. There was a CEO of a very large company, successful man, a wealthy man, and he used all that power and all that authority and all that influence to bully people for many, many years, harassed many of his subordinates, and a lawsuit was filed against him and his company. And a week before he lost his job, I was sitting right in front of him, and he said, I can't believe they're about to they're going to take everything from me, every single thing from me. And I said to him, the greatest things you had, the greatest things any of us have, they weren't yours. They weren't yours to begin with. All that power, in my opinion, all that power, all that beauty, all that strength that is available to us is placed on just a golden platter from the Lord. And whatever portion you are gifted with, whatever you decide to choose to take or you accept, you become responsible for that power and how you use it or how you abuse it. We live in a very interesting world, and you heard me say that many, many times. Money can translate into power in this place we call home. Beauty can translate into power. Positioning can translate into power. I worked with a drop-dead, beautiful woman, gorgeous, devastating good looks. And she used, for many, many, many years, she used that power to get things from men and to dominate men. And as beauty will, her beauty faded. That's about the time that she looked me up, and the accountability bill The accountability bill had been served, and she couldn't pay it. She could not pay it. She was bankrupt because of this. To whom much is given, to whom much is given, much is required. And we can never, ever forget that. So on to this. How can you be powerful? How can you be powerful and use it wisely? I'm going to go over three things that I want you to keep in mind. Number one, by understanding that power can be accessed by everyone equally. Power can be accessed by everyone equally from the divine power source. Now, how people use that power and hold that power will differ, but you gotta know that you have access to the same divine and universal source as everyone else. And if you know that, you will walk differently. You will talk differently. You will stop looking around, comparing, doing all of that, because you will know in your heart, I'm here connected to my power. I'm here for a purpose. And that's a game changer. But you ask me, step number one is knowing it. And you can't just know it intellectually. It's got to be a feeling. It's got to be a feeling that really seeps down into your soul. And people will tell me, Sheila, so much has happened to me in my past. I feel this person took my power. That person took my power. I don't buy it. You gave it away. You were standing at the source. They did something happened, and you looked away and you started following them. Go on back. Go back to the power source. Let yourself be refreshed. Dip in this bath. Take a power rinse. Whatever happened, you don't have to stay there. And just by knowing that in and of itself is a game changer. So again, understanding you are here. Just by get access here means you stepped into divinity. It's up to you to claim it. Number two is to make the decision on how you will use your power. Everyone has it. Identify and know what is your power, what's your gift, what is your strength, and then step back and say, wait a minute, how do I want to use it and get conscious about it? I dated a man, I was going to say gentleman, but let me back up. I dated a man, because I can't really say gentleman, who had very quick wit. He was sharp. He built his career on being a great orator. And I always admired that about him. And on the other hand, he had the power and you call it a skill set, whatever you will. He could use that same quick-wittedness to really verbally abuse people and cut them down. And I was one of those folks at a space and time. And I remember one of the last things I ever said to him, I said, it's a shame. It's a shame that God has gifted you with just this brilliant wit in the way you talk and how you talk, and you've taken this mighty sword that was given to you to just cut through all the obstacles in your life, and you use it to cut into other people. It's really a shame, and it was quite disgusting. So you have to ask yourself in a very conscious way, how do I want to use my power? And when you get clear on that, that's when the enjoyment and the fun can begin. For me, I've chosen to use my life, my strength, and my power for the full purpose and focused purpose of lifting up others. That's it. And once you get on purpose, my goodness, you set yourself up to have a very good time. Number three, and this is very important. Don't be afraid of your power. Don't be intimidated by your power. Don't apologize for your power. Be humbled by it. Walk in humility. Wake up every morning and say, God, you know what? I can't believe it. Thank you. Thank you for all my gifts. Thank you for my power. I will use it for your glory and your edification. March on and have a good life. And as you do that, you will be given more power for living, authentic power, for sharing, walking in abundance. And lastly, what I want you to keep in mind is the greatest people you will ever meet, whether they live in your neighborhood, whether you find them on your career track, whether it's a celebrity, the greatest people that you will ever meet, you will know that they are using their power and walking inside of divinity because they use it to empower others. They don't need to cut anyone down and receive some perverted form of empowerment for themselves. And when you see that happening, you put on your running shoes and you head the other way. Thank you so much for listening. I want you to stay lifted. I want you to stay empowered. I'll see you next time.